let's talk about the USC Arizona game. I know it might be a little late to the reaction video, but this was a game where Arizona really outclassed USC on both sides of the ball, and just happy that USC got the win. It was an exciting ending. It really shouldn't have been as exciting as it was, but anyway, we'll take the win. Again, better to be 6-0 than 5-1, and better to be disappointed after a win than disappointed after a loss. When I made my prediction, I predicted USC 48, Arizona 41. The final score was USC 43, Arizona 41, and it happened in triple overtime to get that score, but nonetheless, that's what it was. But yeah, it was a game where USC, defensively, they made some key stops to eventually to win the game, but they didn't get the job done overall. And offensively, I mean, Caleb Williams deserves another Heisman Trophy. I mean, no other quarterback in the country is carrying a team on his shoulders like he is. And, to me, I think that makes him very much worthy of a Heisman Trophy. I could criticize other aspects of this team, but, Caleb Williams, even if maybe he at times may hold on to the ball a little too long, aside from that, he's the best. So, and this was another one of those games where even knowing that they were going to have their backup quarterback and not Jaden DeLora, but Noah Fifita, that didn't give me any reason to pause and think, oh, well, USC is going to have an easier time against, a second string quarterback or anyone like that, because we saw that against Arizona State where they were down to, second or third string quarterback. And, with Arizona, why would that be any different? And so, it's almost kind of like expected now, if USC is going to play any team and they're going to have some, backup or whoever might underperform against other teams, well, then they're going to have their best game against USC. That just seems to be what's happening. Because if you look at a lot of the other games that, you look at some of other USC's opponents, and you look at some of the quarterback play and running back play, and you look at whoever their primary running backs are and their starting quarterbacks, you'll often see that sometimes some of their best numbers they put up were against USC. And this is, going back to San Jose State, Nevada, Arizona State, Colorado, games where, on paper it looks like USC should do really well, and then they don't. So that's just what it is. That's just something we've kind of come to expect from this team. But, getting back to just the game itself, the ending, for that fourth quarter, I mean, they could have just won it with a field goal. For them to have had so many blunders like that is embarrassing, and they're gonna have a lot of stuff to fix. And so, I mean, I'll talk more about Notre Dame and upcoming games and the other video, but looking at this Arizona game, it just seems like this team have not made the improvements that they should have made, that we were expecting. And again, I've said it multiple times in videos. We were not expecting this. We were not expecting this defense to be great or elite. We just wanted them to be average. And at this point, they're not even looking like that. So Lincoln Riley's going to have to make some very difficult decisions. Well, maybe easy decisions for us as fans, but maybe a difficult decision for him regarding some of his defensive coaching staff, because some of the mistakes and blunders and errors, we could look past that in year one, coming off the Clay Helton years from 4-8 to ultimately an 11-win season. Fine, we can look past some of that stuff, but this is the second year now, and that quote honeymoon period is over. And so, so we're going to start asking these difficult questions, or at least, being a little bit more critical of this defense and some of Lincoln Riley's decision making. Now, despite that criticism, I'm not saying that I don't want him as coach, or I never want him as coach. No, but as this team is progressing, that to make sure that they're on that progression path, you just have to ask these questions. So, again, without Lincoln Riley, there's no Caleb Williams here, and that's something to keep in mind. So glad he's here. Glad we got Caleb, but it's time to make those improvements, because the second half of the season is going to be a lot harder. Until then, fight on.